All right, guys, we're going to let people jump on here tonight. Welcome. As you're jumping on and we're getting people in, we are here at Raw World CrossFit tonight, and Dr. Parker's here, and we're just going to cover a few things about DNA. So if you're jumping on, a little doc talk tonight about the power of your DNA, how you can unlock your DNA to work for you. So we're going to talk about how you can get your genes to work for you and not you work against your genes. So like I said, as people start coming on, we're going to start talking a little bit more about how this can help you. So with any more ado, this is Dr. Parker. He's a professional.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. He's a professional women's doctor here in Columbus, very successful. Actually attends Todd and Amy's gym. That's how we met. He's been working with us for ID Life now for 6 months, has been a wealth of knowledge. I mean, the things that he shared with us, explained to us, teaching us how to implement some of these things. And tonight I'm going to turn it over to him, but tonight he's going to talk to you about how the DNA works for you and why you should look at wanting to take the DNA test. If you've taken the DNA test, why some of the things that they show you can help you. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Doctor. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight. I just want to go over a few things with you. So what makes you you? What makes you unique and different from everybody else? Well, as we all know, that's our DNA. And when we look at our DNA was set from the moment we were conceived. When our parents conceived us, our DNA was set at that time. And what we were going to be, what we were going to look like, how we were going to go through life, a lot of that was set at that time. And here at ID Life, we have a great DNA kit that can help you to further understand your genetic makeup and what makes you you. We can all agree we're not all the same. We don't all have the same shoe size. We don't all have my good looks. We don't all have a beard that looks like Santa Claus. You know, some of us need glasses, some of us don't. Some of us can eat certain types of foods, other things don't. The main thing to remember is focus on you. One size does not fit all. And so don't try to do something that everybody else is trying to do. Focus on what works for you. So we do that by connecting the dots. We take your personalized story, we take your medical history, we take what types of food you eat, where you live, what you do for a profession, all of those things, your family history. We take that and we combine it with your DNA to create a success story for you, whether it's from working out. So some people can do weightlifting, and that's their forte. Those are the power lifters. Those are the people who can, the ultimate strength champions. There's other people that can do cardio, and they can do it extremely well. These are like the marathon runners. But if you put them in a weightlifting competition, they're going to fail every time. And then there's people who are a good combination of both. They have good endurance muscles, but they also have great power. And these are some of our really high performance athletes that do CrossFit, as well as things like triathlons or multi-sport events. So when you get your DNA done through ID Life, you're going to get a report that looks like this. And this is the muscle performance report. This is, what your genes are telling you is what's the best exercise to do for you, whether it's an endurance or whether it's weightlifting or whether it's a combination of both. For me, I'm a combination of both. I need to do endurance, but I also need to do some weight training to get the maximum benefit out of my workouts. And so that's what I do here at Raw World CrossFit, doing a lot of high intensity interval training with Todd and Amy, as well as balancing that with cardio and strength training with the individual lifts that we do. My DNA told me no burpees, no getting upside down. So I try not to do those things as much as possible. But just like anything that may be bad for us, you want to do that sometimes. It also looks at what is your aerobic potential. So you may have a very low aerobic potential. You may have a medium or a high. What does aerobic potential mean? That means your ability to use oxygen to break down the nutrients that you need to provide energy for you while you're working out. And so if you have a low aerobic threshold, that means that you're going to act differently than somebody who has a high aerobic threshold. And your DNA will summarize all this for you when you get it back. We look at weight loss. Some of us find it easy to lose weight. Some people find it hard to lose weight. But a lot of us, what we see when we lose weight is we go back and we regain that weight. If we don't stick with the diet and the plan that we've had, or if we don't adjust the calorie intake after we've lost the weight to our newer, smaller self or fitter self. And so with your DNA, you can also see where you're going to be trapped. Are you low risk for having weight regain, or are you high risk for having a weight regain? I'm in the normal range for this, so I can lose weight. I just tend to forget what I'm supposed to do to keep that weight down. And so I got to be diligent in what I eat. I got to make sure that I'm eating the right things. And I got to make sure I get in here to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. So when we look at all this, with your DNA, everybody gets concerned about, what their DNA is going to tell them, who's going to use their DNA, all that kind of stuff. Well, at ID Life here, everything is going to be what we call HIPAA compliant. So if somebody were in my office, I can't share with them any medical information to somebody who they've not given me permission to send it to. And so your DNA is going to be very well protected from anybody else wanting to come in and try and get your information. But what is important about this DNA? And I've come up with this analogy. Let's keep in the sports realm here. If you have a gene that is good for you, Seth Curry, LeBron James, Tom Brady, okay, you're going to want to do everything you can to get that gene going and get it working well, okay? And so you're going to want to make sure that you're getting the ball to Seth Curry so he can shoot those magic threes. You're going to get it to LeBron so he can get those miraculous dunks. For Tom Brady to just score every point that he can and break every record that he can. But if you've got a gene that's bad for you, let's say you're the opposing team and LeBron James is bad for you, or Seth Curry's bad for you, or Tom Brady's bad for you. You don't want them scoring. You don't want them doing everything. So you're going to try and limit their ability to do any damage to you. Like we say in football, the defense has got to keep Tom Brady off the field. Okay, so what we do is we look at what is affecting our genes, and that can be things that are in our environment, what we take in our food. It can also be what we don't take in. So if we're not getting the proper vitamins, if we're not getting the proper sleep, if we're not minimizing our stress, keeping our stress levels low, then that can all affect how our DNA is expressed, okay? And so very important that once you find out your DNA, you do what you can to maximize the good ones, but you also do what you can to minimize the bad ones. So we may not be perfect in all of this, maybe an 80-20 rule where we try to be good 80% of the time, 20% of the time we may make a mistake or do something bad, but try 80-20. That's a good place to start. So good rule of thumb, find out what are your good genes, turn those on, make them really work well for you. Find out what your bad genes are, or your DNA that doesn't work well for you. Try and keep that off the playing field. Try and not let it affect you. That's going to come through, like we said, diet, supplements, rest, reducing stress, all of those kind of things. At ID Life, we look at, with your DNA, what's different from this from, say, a 23andMe or an Ancestry.com type of DNA profile is they're going to look at things that are important to you for your diet and exercise performance. So we're looking to maximize your exercise performance, but also tell you what are the right types of foods that you're going to need to maximize your performance. And so for me, I'm a combination of, I need a higher amount of fats. I found out I could get a moderate amount of carbohydrates and a moderate amount of protein in my diet for maximal performance. Other people, it may be completely different, where they're going to need less fat, more carbohydrates, and protein. It all depends on your genetic makeup. That's what makes each of us the individualized life that we see with ID Life. At ID Life, this is what you're going to see, and I'm going to bring Andy back in to kind of finish things up and round things out. It's been great talking with you tonight. If you have any questions, just shoot questions through Andy. I'll try to answer those.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions, sure, since we got you here. Because anytime we get this guy in front of any of us, I really like to ask some questions. Can you go over a little bit how the test works, like it's mailed to them, what they do, and how that works?
So, excuse me, you get the test in a box, as you can see in the pictures. It comes with 4 swabs, and you take those swabs and just put them in between your cheek and gum, and you just let it sit there for about 30 seconds. You take it out, you put it down, you let it dry. You put that swab into an envelope, and you just drop it off in any mailbox or UPS or wherever it gets shipped back. And it goes out to our lab, which is on the West Coast. And then within about 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to get your individualized result back. So what they're doing is they're getting the saliva, the cells off the side of your mouth. This is a simple way that they do a lot of times a DNA test for paternity or for even legal matters where they're looking at DNA to see if somebody's the perpetrator of a crime. They'll take a swab from the side of the mouth. They get the cells there. They can extract the DNA from that. And then they have solutions out there that can identify or highlight certain genes to see if you have those genes activated on your DNA or whether you don't. And so it's a very simple test. It takes 5-10 minutes to do. You order it, comes in, put it in your mouth, let them dry, put them in the thing, stick them in the mail. Simple as anything to do. It's easier than brushing your teeth.
So, and I think the really cool thing is, like you've touched on before, everything's HIPAA compliant. So your stuff is not sold to any drug company. It's not sold for any of the research. They use it, they destroy it, and it's safe and it's confidential, which is really big in the world of medicine. Right. Also, if you didn't notice, on the DNA report, there's little blue boxes. Can you maybe talk a little bit what those blue boxes are for?
Well, I'd have to go back and look at them again, but the little blue boxes, as we can see here, that's your personal guidance. It kind of tells you, looking at your DNA, what you need to do with regards to this DNA.
So it's kind of like a roadmap for you.
It is. Each one of these. So what's really important about your DNA analysis is you're going to get maybe a 40-page analysis of your DNA with these roadmaps for your specific DNA as to what you need to do. So you can sit down and you can just make a list from each one of these boxes that says, these are the 10 things that I need to do this week to improve the quality of my life or improve my athletic performance or, whatever it is that you're looking for.
So it really gives you a roadmap. So somebody's got, and actually in the beginning, if you look at the DNA report, it gives you a little bit of a summary and then explains to you in the blue boxes exactly how to implement the information they have. Let me ask you this. If somebody has what we call like a weight regain or a likelihood to gain weight, is that means they're always going to be overweight, or can they do something, or by knowing it, can it help them? Like, is that a bad thing if I know I have a weight gene?
No, some people say, well, I don't want to know the results of this because I'm afraid of what it's going to tell me. But actually, with knowledge comes power. Okay, and with that knowledge, you can take the steps that you need to take to prevent those things from happening. So avoiding weight regain through your DNA testing can tell you what the steps I need to take to prevent that weight regain. I'm a prime example of this. I'm, like I said, a moderate risk for weight regain somewhere in there. And so I have to be very careful. Once I lose the weight, I've got to stick with this plan. I've got to stick with this diet, these recommendations they're making for me so I can keep this weight on.
That's awesome. I also get the question, does your DNA ever change?
No.
Okay, so once you do it, so you only have to do the test one time. Yeah. So it's one-time fee, you do it. Now, what we have here, we have a picture up, because obviously IDLife is more than just a DNA company. We're a health and wellness company that actually works in the nutraceutical line. Mm-hmm. So you can maybe, this is a nutraceutical lab. It's our lab at IDLife. Can you maybe talk a little bit about what nutraceuticals are and why this is different than nutrition, vitamins, and quality?
Well, what I like to call them as nutraceuticals is because they're actually nutrients that are acting to sort of like as a pharmaceutical or as a drug to help you to improve either a medical condition or a health condition. Okay, and so we know that there are certain things like high quality fish oils, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, all of these things that can help to improve certain life conditions. Or medical conditions. And so by taking these supplements, we can have a positive impact on how these are going to be affecting us in our life. The key is you need to have high quality nutraceuticals. You need to make sure that you're getting exactly what you're looking for. And at IDLife, we have a great system, and I'll let Andy talk about this a little bit more, of how we bring in our products, how we test our products, the type of quality control that we have, and how they're packaged specifically for you at the right dose and in the right combination at the specific time of the day that you need to take them to give you the maximum benefit of these results.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool because in the DNA test, and you might be like, why are they showing this? And we're talking about DNA. If you remember in the DNA test, it tests for fitness, things that help you with your fitness, your foods, but also how your body absorbs or is affected by supplements or minerals and vitamins. So if we know how well you do or do not absorb certain minerals and vitamins, we know to supplementize that into your diet, into each day. That's where the ID Nutrition comes in. So like I was saying, this is a nutraceutical lab. These are pharmaceutical techs. And kind of like a pharmacy, when you put your prescription in, they fill your prescription. Well, they're filling your ID Nutrition, things that your body needs exactly. We're not guessing anymore what your body needs. We're finding out exactly what your body needs. His is different than mine. Okay, like we said in here, he gets the no burpee gene. I've got the burpee gene, so I got to do all the burpees. But I mean, we're joking. But the fact of it is there's no reason we should be taking the same thing. So with the DNA test, that really gives us great information on what we should be taking. Okay, to personalize it to my body with a health assessment, which we really didn't touch upon that. But there is a full 5,000 algorithm, HIPAA compliant again, medical grade assessment that goes along with the DNA that it builds your ID Nutrition that you're able to take in the morning and in the afternoon. So that's what you're getting here when you're taking this DNA test. It's very powerful.
And if I can just add to that, when I'd had my DNA tested before in other areas, and I didn't necessarily want to spend the money, but I got the test anyways. But I didn't do it for a while. I got my first month of my ID Life Nutrition. I started taking it, started feeling better, noticed a big difference in how I looked and felt and everything else. But there were just some areas that I needed to tweak, and that's when I did my DNA. Mm-hmm. And when I got that back, that's when I saw where I was maybe over-supplementing in some areas and under-supplementing in other areas. And so by doing that, I plugged that information into my health assessment. They created a whole new list of vitamins and dosage range for me on those vitamins. It actually took the price of my vitamins down.
That's fully customized.
Really it's fully customized now. So I know exactly where I need to be. And the other thing is, is you do this every 3 months. If you take this, I've been through my second health assessment. And with that second health assessment, having made the changes based on my DNA, my exercise patterns, sleep, stress levels, and everything else, it again changed my supplement regimen for me. So this is the beauty of ID Life is as your health improves, as you start to see changes and you put that information back into your health assessment, they're going to adjust your vitamins for you. It's not going to be a continued, well, I go and I buy the same bottle at the store and I get the same dose, even though my life has improved, I may not need all that supplementation.
Because it changes.
It changes. It changes as your health improves.
So your DNA stays the same, but your health can change, which changes your assessment, which can change your ID Nutrition.
And I think a perfect example of this is your cholesterol. I found out with my cholesterol.
Yep, my cholesterol is high. Now it's went down because of ID Nutrition. Wow.
And my cholesterol, I could never get the good cholesterol up above 30. And when I just went back for my retest, it was up about 40, which is the range you want it to be in. And that's what's really important to me. But my triglycerides, my other cholesterol levels were all extremely low. It's not that I'm in the right range where we are, but it's amazing how these supplements are affected us both, and something that we can quantitatively measure.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And you said the safety and the quality. We actually have a company that tests because the government does not regulate supplements. This is what it is. There can be a 30% error either way in what goes in products. Okay, so even if you're going to the store or somewhere, if it's not put up like by Informed Choice or some other company, you don't quite know what you're getting. Okay, and it might not be the company's fault that's bringing it out, it's the manufacturer that are getting away with it. So here at ID Life, we use a company called Informed Choice. We use a thing called Informed Choice Sport. So the reason we do that is because we're able to test the quality of the raw material. Okay, so the raw material that makes the supplements, we test for quality, make sure it's the very best that goes in. So if it doesn't meet a certain standard, that raw material is denied and sent back. So we start with the best raw material possible so that you get the best supplement. Then along the way, ID Life has it tested again to make sure in the process of the supplement being made that something didn't go wrong or there's no contamination or something didn't go quite right. So they test it again for quality and for making sure exactly what's on the label is in the product and you're not getting something less or more. Okay, less, but even more can hurt you as well. We then once again test it at the end. The product then is shipped to ID Life. It's quarantined. And then at the quarantine, they test it again, make sure that the packaging, the quantity, all that stuff is correct. So you're getting the very best quality product possible at a nutraceutical level. And we're going to talk about the pricing here in a second. But as you see all these things that come together, DNA, supplementation that fits your body, you're seeing something that was kind of everybody took whatever and used the same pill bottles to now fully customized and being able to design it to your body and to your DNA. So is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, to the level of quality, I get my new pack every month, and somewhere in there, it kind of varies as it. You get a little sticker that comes out and says QC across your vitamins. That means your individualized pack has been quality controlled. It's not just one bottle out of a batch. It's your individual pack that's been quality controlled to make sure that you're getting what's supposed to be in your packets at the right dose and for what you need. So it's amazing how well this company really wants to provide a high quality product that's individualized for you.
That's pretty cool. And before we leave, and you talk about how you can order and things like that, there's some pretty cool stories. We actually had a friend that has done a lot of different workouts. She's actually a trainer, so understands nutrition, understands how to work out, but for the last 4 to 5 years was not getting any results from her training. She was actually gaining weight or plateauing, and for years she struggled. She finally she had told me, she said, I had given up. And we got talking, and I said, try this. And she was a trainer. I mean, trainers, they know a lot. And she's like, I don't know. But I was like, your DNA could maybe unlock something for you that you don't know what's going on. And so finally, she decided to do the DNA test, got her DNA results back. Here she found out that she's very high cardio gene. She has a high aerobic. And what was happening was her body was not getting up high enough to get into the zones. We were talking about heart rate zones earlier, to actually burn the proper amount. So she switched her workouts. So now she's a trainer. She understood what she needed to do. She did that. She switched her workout. She found out that she was doing the keto. Okay? And how many people do the keto? And the keto was causing her gain weight because she is not sensitive to carbs. She needed carbs. And so she started to put in a better carb diet. She started doing more cardio, and she's lost like 15 to like 20 pounds in like a month and a half, which is pretty amazing. So I don't know if that's there we go. We're live. Anything can happen. So, but that's how an example of just finding out some information can really change. So we're going to show you here a little bit more about what you can do here. So right now, this is the Doc's got to go. He's got to go deliver a baby. So anyway, right now during the Black Friday special, Cyber Monday, whatever you want to call it, the great deal to run, you can get a DNA kit for $150. Okay, get yourself started. Find out, unlock the secrets of your body. Stop working against your genes and start working with them. Okay, find out the things you need to do. Okay, so and then on top of it, you get a $20 coupon to go towards your ID Nutrition. So you know what? And coming around Christmas, ID Life's probably going to do some more specials. So get on board now. Find out what your DNA is. Get that stuff set up, and then you start to build your ID Nutrition. Now, if you're like, hey, you said something about some other products, and I'm interested, and I want to sleep better, or I want some proteins, or I want energy, I want some extra things, you can do a kit for $199, okay? And that $199 kit will also get you some, I think it's like $340 worth of product. It'll get you started on ID Nutrition right away. And so you can actually do that, and you can order an extra DNA kit if you want it. The $299 I think is a great special. You get the DNA kit with it, plus all the extra products. Okay, that's $490 plus or more. Okay, so $420 or more worth of product for only $299. So that's a big savings. So there's 3 different ways. So whoever is put you into this page, or whoever's talked to you about ID Life, reach out to them. Okay, or maybe they're gonna when they reach back out to you, tell them, hey, what's the best scenario for me, and find out what fits you best. But with that, guys, we're gonna close out. I hope you find that this is helpful, because in ID Life, one thing that we want to do is we want to do life better. Okay, and doing life better means being healthy, feeling better, sleeping better, having more energy, okay, and living longer. Okay, my theme, I want to conquer 105. Okay, I want to survive to 105. I want to go long term. So it's little things like this each day that I do. I take my nutrition in the morning, in the evening, I work out, I follow the plan that's designed for my body through my DNA. And I hopefully, by doing this, is extend my life. So is there anything else you want to add before we jump out of here?
No, Andy, I think you hit it all. Thanks again, everybody, for listening tonight. Remember, you can go out and live your ID life better.
Thank you. Nice! Great telephone.
No, that was his.
Oh!
I was like, my phone doesn't sound like that.
I was like, what's going on?
And then the truck came all at the same time. Luckily, at least it was at the end.
That was perfect. In your pocket? Oh, over there.